Hello students, we are studying Unit 2 Friendship in English, and in that we completed the poem The Arrow and the Song, and we started with the story Grandpa's Friend. I hope you are revising the previous videos before going to the next video. But still, if you haven't done that, let me read out the story so far for you. Mom, I'm home. John slammed the door and dropped his books on a nearby chair. Something smells good. With his nose in the air, he followed the sweet aroma into the kitchen. Hi, John. Home already? His mom turned around. She had just placed a plate of fresh baked cookies on the counter near the open window. John reached for a cookie and looked outside. It was the kind of day that made John feel warm inside. Pop-Up, John's grandpa, who lived with them since Grandma had died, came through the door. Spring is here, Pop-Up said, and you know what this means? Sure, John agreed. Our annual fishing trip is coming up. Amused, Pop-Up winked at John while heading straight for the cookies. I was thinking more of our annual spring cleaning, John's mom suggested. Tomorrow, John, you have no school and I can expect some help, okay? Okay, John agreed unwillingly. The next day, John and his mom cleaned the house. They cleaned upstairs, inside, outside, until everything was spotless. Tired, they sank into the couch. Pointing to Pop-Up's chair, John's mom exclaimed, "Oh, that old chair has got to go. We'll buy Pop-Up a new one." It was true. John had to agree. The chair was unsightly. It was faded and worn and in some places even torn. "John, come and help me. We'll take the chair to the footpath. Tomorrow the garbage truck is going to come." As they attempted to move the chair, Pop-Up walked his way through the door. Seeing what was happening, he quickly blocked their way. "Oh no," he objected. "You can't take my chair. It's old. It's worn." John's mom argued with a sharp edge to her voice. "No," Pop-Up insisted, trying to push his chair back into place. "But Pop, we'll buy you a new one." John's mom tried to convince the man. "I don't want a new one." Pop-Up's voice trembled. "I give up." John's mom let go of the chair. "We'll discuss it tonight when Matt gets home." Matt, John's dad, was still at work. With a sigh of relief, the old man sank into his chair and closed his eyes. "Pop-Up, why you won't let us get rid of the chair?" John asked when his mother left the room. "It's so old." That was the part 1 of the story. Let's continue with part 2. "You don't understand, John." Pop-Up shook his head from side to side, and after a long pause, he said, "I sat in this chair with your grandma right here when I asked her to marry me. It was so long ago, but when I sit in this chair and close my eyes, I feel she's near." The old man passed his hand gently along the arm of the chair. So when John asked, why do you still want to keep the chair? Why don't you let us get rid of it? Pop-Up shook his head from side to side, and after a long pause he said, why did he take that pause? Because he was thinking, he was trying to remember something. And he told John that you won't understand, because John is a small boy. And then he explained that he sat in that chair with John's grandma right here when Pop-Up asked her to marry him. It was so long ago. Imagine the number of years when the grandma and grandpa got married. Then they had son, and he's talking to his grandchild. So many years ago, when Pop-Up asked grandma to marry, he sat on that same chair. And it was long ago. The grandma has passed away. But when he sits on that chair and closes his eyes, he feels that she is near. And thinking of that chair and rubbing. He passed his hand gently along the arm of the chair. You know, the arm of the chair, the handrest that we have. So he touched that chair and was feeling it. It's amazing, John thought, how Pop-Up can remember things from the past. In the present, he forgets almost everything. John sat down on the floor by Pop-Up's feet and listened as the old man went on. We know our grandparents also do the same thing. Present events they will easily forget, but they remember everything in detail from the past. Same thing happened with Pop-Up. So John was thinking about it, like how amazing it is that in the present he forgets almost everything, but he remembers things from the past. And as Pop-Up was going on speaking, John sat down on the floor near Pop-Up's feet. And the night your father was born, I sat in this chair. I was nervous. I was scared when they placed the tiny baby into my arms. Yet I was never happier. A smile suddenly lit his old face. And then he talks about the night Matt was born, Pop-Up's son and John's father. When he was born, he was sitting in this chair. He was nervous. He was worried. He was scared that how he will take care of that small baby. When they placed the tiny baby into his arms, he was scared to how he will protect it. But still, he was never happier. So it's a mixed feeling. He was scared, but still he was happy to have his child. And a smile suddenly lit his old face. A smile lit his face like he was sad, he was in nostalgia, thinking about past. But then he remembered about the night his son was born, Matt was born, and he suddenly had a small smile on his face. I think I'm beginning to understand, John said thoughtfully. So John listened to the stories of the memories of chair, and so he was thinking like, okay, I guess I'm beginning to understand. Many years later, Pop-Up's voice broke and he paused a moment before he continued. I sat in this chair when the doctor called and told me that your grandma was ill. I was lost without her, but the chair gave me comfort and warmth. The old man's sadness seemed to grow as he recalled that unfortunate day. The last memory Pop-Up shared was about the day Matt was born. And John thought like, okay, he's beginning to understand how first Pop-Up shared the memory of when he asked grandma to marry him, then of the night his father was born. John's father Matt was born. So John thought that he is understanding now. He's beginning to understand now. And then Pop-Up shared another memory of many years later when his life partner, grandma, she was ill. And Pop-Up was sitting on that chair and the doctor called and told him that grandma was ill. I was lost without her, but the chair gave me comfort and warmth. A chair cannot replace life partner, but the chair has been with him throughout his journey with her. So the chair gave him comfort and warmth. In the previous class, I also gave you the meaning of warmth. It's not heat, but a good feeling. So it gave him comfort. And remembering that sad day, that unfortunate day, the sadness seemed to grow. It increased as he recalled that unfortunate day. As he remembered again the day that his partner, John's grandma, died. I'm sorry, Pop-Up. John looked at his grandfather and said, I do see now. This is not just any old chair. This chair is more like your friend. Yes, we have gone through a lot together, Pop-Up said. After listening all the stories of the chair, John said that I am sorry. Why did he apologize? Because he did not understand the bond with the chair. He, just like his mom, he thought that it's an old chair, it's looking ugly. So he also wanted to get rid of the chair. But when his grandfather told the connection he had, he apologized and said that I am sorry, Papa. I do see now. This is not just any old chair. It's not just a piece of furniture. It has been with you throughout many years and you have many memories with it. This chair is more like your friend. Whom do we consider friend? Friend is not just someone with whom we share only good memories or with whom we have fun. A friend is someone who has been with you through the good times and the bad times, or maybe more in the bad times than the good times. So the chair, it's not a living thing. It's just a piece of furniture. It's just an object. But it has been with him. So the chair was like a friend to Pop-Up. And so the Pop-Up said, yes, we have gone through a lot together. He just shared few memories. But even without that, the chair has been with Pop-Up through many other things. So he told that we have gone through a lot together. That night, however, when John and Pop-Up were asleep, John's mom and dad carried the chair out to the footpath. It was a starless night. Though spring had set in, snow fell silently from the black sky and covered Pop-Up's chair with a blanket of white. John's mom and dad did not know the connection Pop-Up had with the chair. The conversation Pop-Up had was with John. So John's mom and his dad were not knowing about it. So as decided earlier, they carried the chair out to the footpath so that next day the garbage truck can pick it away. It was a starless night. It was a dark sky and a starless night. Though spring had set in, snow fell silently from the black sky. Spring was there. We already know from the previous part of the story that spring had come. But still it was snowing. So snow fell silently from the black sky and covered Pop-Up's chair with a blanket of white. Blanket of white means it covered the chair with snow all over. The next morning, when John came downstairs, Pop-Up stood by the window and looked outside. A tear rolled down his hollow cheek. John followed the old man's gaze and froze. Snow-covered, the chair stood on the footpath out of the house. It shocked John. He ran outside. "Wait! Don't take the chair!" he shouted, waving both arms in the air as he rushed to stop the man from taking the chair away. Then he ran back inside and faced his mom. "Look at Pop-Up, Mom. You can't throw out his chair. This is not just a chair. This chair has been with Pop-Up for a very long time. This chair is like a friend." What happens the next day? When John came down, when he woke up and he came down, Pop-Up was standing by the window and looking outside. A tear rolled down his hollow cheek. Hollow means with a kind of sink. It was sunk inside. So a tear rolled down his cheek. Why was he sad? He was sad because the chair was kept on the footpath. He was feeling sad or upset because his long friend was being taken away by the garbage truck. John followed the old man's gaze. Gaze is a fixed look. When you are looking continuously at something, that is called gaze. So John followed. He saw that his grandfather was crying, but then he saw or what is his grandfather looking at and crying. So he followed his gaze and froze. He stood still. Snow-covered, the chair stood on the footpath out of the house. Whole night the chair was on the footpath, so it was covered with snow, and he saw that. John was shocked by it. He ran outside. He ran to stop the people taking it away. He shouted, "Wait, don't take the chair," and waving both arms in the air as he rushed to stop the man from taking the chair away. The people from the garbage truck, they were taking it away. So John ran and waving both the arms in the air, he rushed to stop them. Then he ran back inside and faced his mom. His mom was not knowing of everything, but still she did a mistake. So John went inside and told his mother all the things. First he said, "Look at Pop-Up, Mom." His mom may not be knowing what kind of reaction Pop-Up will do. They had an argument, but she might have thought it's just an old thing, and his Pop-Up does not want to get rid of it. But she didn't know what connection he had with it. "You can't throw out his chair. This is not just a chair. This chair has been with Pop-Up for a very long time. This chair is like a friend." So John knew all the things, and she told his mother, like, "Look at him. You can't throw out his chair, and this chair means a lot to Pop-Up. It has been with him for a very long time, and this chair is like a friend to him." John's mom turned and looked at the old man. Slowly she walked towards him. With her middle and ring finger she wiped away a tear, and then she took the old man's face into both her hands and said, "I'm sorry, Papa. I guess I just didn't realize how much the chair meant to you. John and I will bring your chair back inside." She was not knowing how Papa will feel, but when she saw that Papa was crying, she turned and looked at him. When John told him, she turned and looked at the old man. Slowly she walked towards him and she wiped away a tear. Then she took the old man's face into both her hands and apologized. She said sorry because she was not knowing. And then she said, "I guess I just didn't realize how much the chair meant to you." She told that she didn't understand fully how much the chair meant to him. And then she also said that she will bring the chair back inside. So John's mom was arguing with Papa, but she didn't have any hard feelings. She was not against Papa, but she was just thought of the chair as an old thing, and if you were cleaning everything and you think that certain thing looks out of the place, she just wanted to get rid of it. But when she saw how much it meant to Pop-Up, she immediately said sorry and brought back the chair inside. They brushed off the snow with their hands and pushed the chair back inside. They placed it next to the fireplace so it could dry. John's mom stepped back then and, as if seeing the chair for the very first time, spoke to herself, I guess it does give the room a certain touch of character." And John and Pop-Up wholeheartedly agreed that the living room would be rather dull without this old chair. The chair was outside the whole night and it was covered with snow. So John's mom and John brushed off the snow with their hands. They removed the snow with their hands and pushed the chair back inside to the hall. They placed it next to the fireplace so it could dry. It was covered with snow. We can't hang the chair in the sunrise to dry, so they kept it next to the fireplace. And then, to have a clear look at the chair, John's mom stepped back and, as if seeing the chair for the very first time, spoke to herself. She said that the chair does give the room a certain touch of character. Giving the room a certain touch of character means giving the room a nice look, giving the room a different aspect that makes it more lively. And John and Pop-Up wholeheartedly agreed. Wholeheartedly means fully. Without any objection, they fully agreed that the living room will be rather dull without this old chair. The old chair brought life to it. So that was the end of the story. Now let's go through the meanings. These are the meanings which you will have to write in your homework in rough book one time. First word, nervous. It means worried. Second word, gaze. It means fixed look. Third word, realize. It means to understand clearly. Fourth word, wholeheartedly. It means fully. I hope you understood the meanings and the story. You need to go through the story once again, and in the next class we will start with the exercises for this story. Till then, enjoy your day. Bye.